Hello, cuties. I am here with another reading just for you and just for a little explanation what I have here. So for today's reading, I decided to look into what needs your attention right now, what is going on, and then a supportive message or a suggestion that can help you with this situation. So let's go into it, shall we? We have a lot of pentacles here. Then we have some wands and some cups energy here. So when it comes to your situation that needs your attention right now, we have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and beneath I have Four of Pentacles. And the supportive message that is here, we have Eight of Pentacles in reverse that is paired with 10 of Wands, and beneath we have Three of Cups. So to your situation that needs your attention, I just want to describe it a little bit. Doesn't have to necessarily be exactly this, because when I'm doing a more general reading, there's many different situations that applies to different people, and it's quite different than if I have a person in front of me. But regardless of this, take what resonates, right? So with Ace of Pentacles here, it talks about some missed opportunity. This usually is connected with a job, career, some material opportunity. It can be connected with health, anything material, because pentacles represent material realm of our world. So anything physical, it can be physically your body, your health. But as I said, it's connected with the money as well, with the career, with the job opportunities, and so on. It's also the least fast moving energy. So this usually means it takes a little bit of more time. It's not so much the time, but it's more, it's very much more focused on the path, on developing the skill than the end reward. And a bit, I will say, regardless of this, a little bit of a more slow moving energy. So Ace of Pentacles, it talks about, I see these two situations. It can be missed opportunity or waiting for opportunity to come in that is not here yet. And with the Four of Pentacles here beneath, it talks about a person. If you look at this card, this is a person who is standing on pentacles and is having a tight grip on the pentacle in the middle. This person is very much holding tightly to these pentacles. So it talks about being very much consumed by maybe missed opportunity, thinking about why I didn't take this opportunity, or being very much focused in your life of when this opportunity is going to come in. It is very much connected with your security. So this can literally be lack of money or waiting for the money to come in and holding tightly to this. So tightly, in fact, that it's really hard for you to put your mind or focus on anything else than this situation. So this person also in the background, we have the city, which talks about the community, the people. This talks about also a person maybe being too attached to their status, to the power that they have, but I don't quite feel this in this reading. I'm just saying it for the sake of what this card could mean. It talks about as well a person isolating themselves for the sake of protecting themselves. It talks about a person who maybe have been taken advantage of. It can be financially, of course, but it can be in any way. It really doesn't matter. As I said, take it with your situation. So this person has been taken advantage of, and they had to isolate to protect their boundaries. It's like kind of a better safe than sorry kind of a mentality. So this person isolated themselves for the sake of protecting their boundaries because they are afraid to get hurt again. Now, I feel like a lot of people will say, don't be afraid, let people in. And yes, absolutely. But again, I do understand that, for example, if you're a people pleaser and you gave yourself too much and you've been hurt, or you have enough with being hurt and overgiving, I think it's a very normal response to this to go from one extreme to the other. And I just want to give grace and understanding to the situation. I do believe that when you are starting something new, especially if it goes from one extreme to the other, it is super normal that you want to protect yourself and protect the new boundaries that you have, because you don't feel quite safe in it. You don't feel quite secure in it. because it takes time for certain boundaries to really get under your skin and to become normal to you. And when you are beginning and starting something new, it's really good. I mean, it's really normal that you want to protect yourself and you feel maybe, or other people maybe perceive you as overprotective and they will tell you, like, why are you holding out so tightly? Again, use your discernment at which stage you are. I think it's very normal that when you are freshly from one extreme to the other, to feel a little bit more reserved, that your tight is a little bit more your grip is a little bit your grip is a little bit more tight. I think it's completely normal. It's how we deal with things, and it comes from good intentions. You want to protect yourself because you don't want to get hurt again, right? And I do feel, because here a lot of people could say, yeah, don't let fear overpower you when it comes to your decisions. But it depends on which stage of transformation you are. I think it's a very normal and a good stage here, when you, especially if it's really fresh and you want to protect yourself, that you are in this extreme, because you need to ground this, right? You need to ground the new beliefs that you have, the new skills that you have, in order to go back into the world and being exposed to different challenges. If this really gives me the analogy of building a house, right? If a house is not built on a good foundations, I'm just gonna say here, I have no clue about building the house, but I'm just gonna make SHIT up. It's like you have to wait for the cement to dry in order to continue the work, right? In order to go to the next stage. It's like you are in the waiting of this cement to solidify in order to use it, as a next building block. So if this is your stage, once again, I want to give you grace, because I hear so much, don't be afraid, don't hold so tightly to the things. Again, there's a reason you hold on it so tightly. And then again, it depends on your stage where you at in your life. Hold on it if that's how you feel, if you need to be alone, if you need for these things to ground, right? On the other hand, there's different situation. As I said, when I'm reading for a majority of people, I'm trying to cover as many things as I can think in a moment. But that's why I'm always saying, and I will always repeat, to use your discernment, because my readings are really made for you connecting with your inner system, which works wonderfully with your inner voice, with your intuition that is telling you and is knowing exactly at each time where to move. It's really my wish is really for you to connect with this inner voice and listen to yourself, and also filter all these readings that I have through your own eyes, using your discernment and listening to yourself. I think that their readings are also great to practice your discernment, to practice how do you feel about these things that are said, not just taking anything as a face value. So yeah, this. But also there's different situation, and another different situation is a person being too hard on themselves, or rethinking why did they let this opportunity go, why didn't go with the opportunity, and now they feel sad that they didn't take the opportunity and they feel like they missed it. And yeah, holding very tightly to this, and again, use the discernment if maybe the opportunity really was missed, and then thinking about, is there a possibility to still check on the opportunity if it's there? And regardless of this, if you cannot get the opportunity back, thinking about other possibilities that are out there, because there's many different possibilities. But when you are holding so tightly to this opportunity, you are not allowing yourself to look what more is out there. It really talks about our focus being so hyper focused on this one thing, where our vision starts to get really narrow and we don't see what more is out there. So in this sense, it talks about letting go of the grip a little bit, just a little bit, to amount that is safe to you, just to give yourself the opportunity to see what more is out there. And it talks about also a person who isolated themselves. It talks about a person who is again, it depends on which stage you are, again, use your discernment. But in this other example, it can resemble a person who is preserving themselves, maybe preserving their talents, the skill that they developed, because they've been hurt so much in the past that they lost the trust and hope in themselves, and now they are holding back the skill from other people because they've been hurt and they isolated themselves. Because in the background we have the town, which represents, as I said, people, the society, and this person isolated themselves regardless if they are living amongst the people. It talks about not necessarily physical isolation. It talks about holding their talents and what they have to say back from other people. It talks about the fear of being judged again, the fear of being hurt. And again, I want to bring the understanding here. There is fear. You don't want to repeat the same thing again. But again, it's good to have a discernment if the environment is actually threatening, or your fear is of being seen is overpowering you, and you are not sharing your talents with the people that actually can have use of it, or can share your point of view, or can even help you with your skill. It's preserving and not talking about what you're truly passionate about or what you have to share, by telling yourself that people will not understand, when in reality you're just too afraid of getting hurt again. So again, it's really good to sit with yourself and question where all this is coming from, and just in this situation allow yourself just to talk about, just release a little bit of your beliefs or your ideas to people little by little, to check the terrain if you are so scared of sharing yourself. So this really, it's also what I see here. If this is connected to the job that you're waiting for and the missed opportunities, I do see here that these opportunities, again, use your discernment, but it's another example where at this job you would not feel good because your values with this position were not aligned, and you kind of felt it, but then you still kind of wanted to push yourself to stay in this position for the sake of money, which gives you the security. It's again narrowing the options, or not allowing yourself to stay or be at the job where you share your value. And this is shown not just to the salary that you receive, but you working in a community or with people that you feel safe, that you feel secure, that you feel that you feel that your values are shared. And I feel like there's some mismatch between the missed opportunity that maybe you refused, or you were refusing. Is this a word? They refused it to you. Oh my God, I swear I'm inventing some words here. And you may be reminiscing about it, and you're like, why I didn't take it? I missed this opportunity. But in reality, I do feel that something was not aligned here. I do feel that maybe they would not value what you have to offer. There was some mismatch with what this job offered, or just in general the service that they were providing to people. Like, I'm going to try to explain this in examples so you understand it more completely. So, for example, they really need to be efficient. They really, everyone is saying we want to give a good customer support, but this takes time, right? Listening to each person and making them feel like they are heard and valued is not just, some manipulation technique that you are trying to make them feel heard and valued. It really comes from you actually caring for people and taking each case as individual case, right? And to try to help them as best as possible. I do feel that this is the future. I do feel a lot of us are so sick of all of these commercials and ads that are thrown in our faces. And, a lot of us feel that they don't care what we want. No one is actually asking you what your wants are. They really care about their profit and just making more money and trying to use, I don't know what kind of emotional intelligence to manipulate you. And we are very wary, or more discern of where we want to put our money to. We want to feel heard, we want to feel cared. That's just the core of being a human, right? Taking care of each other, taking care of yourself. And you also want to put your money where you feel that they actually care. That's why when you go, regardless of in which service, you do see people who are there because they're passionate and because they really want to help you get the best choice. I really honor people in a workspace where they are being honest and transparent, where they will tell me, look, this is our proposal, but honestly, there might be the ones that are better for you. I mean, according to what it is that you want, what is your priority, and so on. I do feel we need more honesty, we need more honest people, more transparency, and more people who actually care, who are there to listen to you and give you the best tools when it comes to your situation. Even if this means that, like in my example, my readings are for certain type of people as well. It will not resonate with everyone. And I'm giving space for people to discern this as well. When it comes to readings that I offer, I want them to be based on donation. I just want to let go of the financial burden as well if a person doesn't have this. But then again, to give me the amount of money if they want to, according to how they feel supported and how much they can. And I do believe that just this comes from my personal understanding on who I am as a person, which comes from care. I'm doing this because I'm passionate about and because I want to help people. I do believe this is something that is within all of us. When you have something that you're passionate about, you want other people, to reach this passion as well. And you want to be part of this story because it's fulfilling by itself to see people being more at peace with themselves, getting a different perspective in my situation over their situation, allowing themselves to cry, to be angry, whatever it is. It is so fulfilling. It's, of course, we need money, absolutely. But, it's not just about this. It's such a different fulfillment when we help other people. Okay, I think I went a little bit astray with this reading. And I do feel that that's what this reading is also talking about: community, the purpose that doesn't come from your own passion, but it's connected with giving to other people, as this Four of Pentacles here represents. A person is isolating themselves and holding themselves back. Again, there's many different scenarios, and it's up to you to discern on which step you are here. But it really, for me, talks about there's a shame of not sharing yourself for the sake of your fear. Right? I do believe that this person has accumulated a lot of knowledge, especially when it comes to supportive messages. Here we have Eight of Pentacles in reverse, because this is a person who has developed and dedicated their time, if it's upright, dedicated their time to develop their skill, not for the sake of achievement or a reward afterwards, but for the sake of developing the skill and willingness to go on this journey. They're not so focused on the end goal. They're not so focused, for example, in my situation, on the views, on I don't know what, but they're so focused on the work itself, because the work itself, the journey itself, is so rewarding. So this person, when it's, again, this card upright, they are focusing on each pentacle individually. They're not having a mass production here, but they are dedicating their time and energy to each individual pentacle. So it talks about the care, developing the skill, really being present there. And it talks about the patience. It talks about the patience and the time that it takes to develop this skill. So if I move forward here, again, it talks about a person who is very skilled and is very dedicated to the work. I don't see the lack of dedication. It's just of the pressure that this person feels, that they have to finish this work as soon as possible for whatever reason is out there. And it's just a gentle reminder, because we have here Eight of Pentacles in reverse, not to forget about other parts of your life. It talks about a person who is also maybe too focused on their work, and neglecting maybe their bodily needs, neglecting their connections. It's not that you owe someone a connection. It more comes from a sense that You do feel you want to hang out more with people, you want to celebrate more with people, with Three of Cups here in underneath. It talks about isolating yourself for the sake of your purpose and neglecting your own needs with emotional connection that you want to feel with other people, and just celebrating yourself. Here the Three of Cups, it talks about the celebration. It talks about the harvest season with all of these fruits and vegetables we have around their feet. So to me, it talks about a person who is very much of a perfectionist. It talks about a person who is just more focused on more and more and more, which is, there's nothing wrong with it. We will always expand. There's always going to be the next thing. And I'm not saying this for the sake of stopping you, but it's talking about being worn out. It talks about, especially with Ten of Wands here, a person who is carrying too much of a burden. They have the focus, but they are over focused on just this one thing. Like this person in Ten of Wands, they have their head hidden in these wands and they're not seeing what is around them. And it talks again about a person, because with the Four of Pentacles here, isolation, with the Eight of Pentacles here is also talking about isolation, a person isolating themselves to dedicate their time to do work, which is okay, but we have this card upside down. And with the Ten of Wands, again, this person feels the pressure that they have to do everything by themselves. And it's not about feeling the pressure. It's a habit that was practiced maybe throughout their whole life, that they have to do things by themselves. And it's not in their system to actually maybe even think, yet alone ask about the help. It talks about not just helping and connecting with the community, with the help that is out there for you. Trust me, there are people right now that are willing to help you. But it talks about not just asking for help. It talks about reprioritizing what is important for you. It talks about stopping, taking a little bit of a breath, and maybe understanding that you don't have to carry all of these wands, because Ten of Wands are really 10 here represents the completion, but also in this case of wands, it represents that this person is really carrying all the burdens, and it's they are going towards the end goal. They have again the focus and the willingness and the stamina to do it, but it's talking about the fire, the passion that they have, that is too heavy, that will burn them out, because they are not allowing themselves to delegate this work to other people. Or maybe, as I said, this person has their head hidden in these wands. They're not seeing the whole picture because they are so focused on, I have to finish this, I have to do it, I'm overwhelmed. And this alone, if you feel overwhelmed, she's supposed to tell you that if anything else, you really need to pause and reprioritize maybe your needs, what is actually important and urgent and what is not. Maybe you are carrying extra burden that doesn't have to be carried right now in this moment. It's like a person who, again, as I said, has the dedication, has the passion, has the willingness to work on it and to share it, but they put too much of the weight on their shoulders. They have their responsibilities, whatever it is, they just are carrying too much. That's what Ten of Wands is representing. And with the Three of Cups here beneath, it talks about the celebration, celebrating the people, you celebrating other people and allowing other people to celebrate you. It talks about the harvest season, as I said a little bit before. It talks about, this really for me is a mindset of a perfectionist, a mindset of a person who has the stamina to do everything by themselves. But at the end of each task, they feel tired and they need to isolate maybe, or they need extra time for themselves. And this keeps them in isolation. And it's not about your passion and the vision that you want to do. It's how you are doing it. So it's good to pause and to think about how you are dealing with this stuff. Because if you are constantly overwhelmed and worn out, this is not sustainable. This is not taking care of yourself truly. And trust me, there is help out there. There are many different ways how to do the same thing that you're doing. It's really allowing yourself to search for different ways how you can deal with your situations. Connect with people, look at the podcasts who are in your field, and who maybe can give you a suggestion how to do these things differently, right? But most of all, maybe it will not sound even productive in your situation, but it's so crucial for you to take time to celebrate. Because for me, this is a person who is just focused on go, 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 which is good. Expansion is good. But if we are overdoing it, again, as I said, we will wear ourselves out. And what is missing here is a person who is valuing themselves, who are valuing their skills, who is valuing how far they have come. I think that it's really necessary for you to celebrate each step that you make, to celebrate as much as possible. I know it may seem cheesy or whatever, but celebrate as much as possible. Take time for your friends, celebrate your steps, celebrate that you got a job, go out, meet friends, and make a celebration of you getting a new job, getting a new project. Celebrate as much as possible. Take any excuse to celebrate, because this is something that you need. You need to feel this energy of celebration, which comes from grace, giving yourself grace for how far you have come, and not just ticking, okay, to-do list, right? Ticking the to-do list and looking what's next. This to me is just, again, as I said, a person who has to-do list and is just focused so much on ticking and feeling the relief when they tick the to-do list, which is great. But it's a person who is not taking time to rest, to celebrate, to recalibrate, to reprioritize, and is just running after things. Again, I believe that your ideas are great. You have you have everything. You have the stamina, you have the dedication, you have the direction, but it's just more how you're doing, because you cannot enjoy the fruits of your labor if you will be worn out at the end. So again, it's time to pause to see how you are going around things for the sake of celebrating and enjoying your life more. So I think it's so freaking crucial for you to celebrate, go out, have fun, let go. This is so important. Don't focus so much on the work or what you're doing, on the opportunities that maybe are missed or the opportunities that might come, or if they would come. Go out, connect with people. I do believe that when you feel so worried and just so worn out by the responsibilities, it is so crucial to connect with other people and to allow your mind to focus on something else than just your worries. And I feel community here can help a lot. Of course, help as much as you feel you can help. But I feel there's different kind of a purpose and fulfillment that comes from you helping another person as well, and feeling kind of use when it comes to connecting with your community. And it eases your mind off a little bit, especially if you are in a waiting moment, waiting for opportunity to come in, or if it will come. Again, it's part of your reality. If that is the case, it's just how much of your mental space you give to the opportunities that might be missed or opportunities that might come, and filling your life with more ease, which comes from purpose, which comes also connecting with other people, helping your friends to rearrange the apartment, helping your friends to move, the things out of their apartment. I think there's some kind of a different fulfillment when you feel like you helped someone, and it gives you kind of a sense of purpose and just a connection with people. But again, I cannot stress this enough for you. I feel if here's any suggestion is, don't forget to celebrate. Celebrate as much as possible. Don't wait just for New Year and your birthday. Celebrate little steps that you make. If you have a huge project that was approved for you, I don't know, go invite people for a drink. It's a really good opportunity to gather as much people and just celebrate, talk about whatever it is that you want to do. So this is the part of the message. Also, celebration. Other side, which I feel is so sad, is a person who is not celebrating themselves enough when it comes to how far they have come into life, especially with 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Honoring yourself and your path and how skilled you already are. There's, as I said, always going to be more that we can learn. We will never stop developing. That's just how our evolution works. There's no end to it. There's always going to be the next thing that we can learn. There's always going to be opportunity to expand. And it's just having grace with the growth and pause. Again, the active part of our life and the pauses, the sleeping, the celebration, all of this is important. It's like different sides of the same coin, which has to be there, it is there. It's just a matter on which side we focus more. So take care of yourself, especially take care of your body. Check more in with your body. Check in with your body right now. Take a deep breath and just feel your body and feel where you feel tension. Do you feel it in your neck? Do you feel it in your jaw? In between your eyes? Relax this area a little bit more in this moment and practice this as often as you will remember. These are the practices that don't, ask from you to travel to a gym or to a spa. We have a lot of practices that are available right now in this moment, and one of this is breath and just focusing on our body. And you can do this for a minute or even less, just to feel your body, to feel where you hold the tension, to relax this part of your body, and continuing. So take care of yourself. Please celebrate, honor yourself, honor your journey, ask for help. Trust me, you don't have to do all of this by yourself. There's people and there's different ways how you can achieve and have the same kind of achievements by allowing yourself to look beyond of this 10 of wands that you are carrying. So I will finish the reading here. I hope this helped you feel inspired, or maybe it brought some understanding to your situation. I hope it made you feel a little bit relieved, or maybe loosened the grip a little bit. And I will see you with the next reading.